Good morning, beautiful people. It is Friday, the 6th of June. Welcome to TDA, the day after your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by you guys, the culture. The only culture that matters, God damn it. And like you are every blessed day, you're hosted by the very best. Good morning, people.
Wagwan popcorn. Okay.
How are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
How was the Sierra dance-a-thon?
Oh, it was really interesting. I'm not a dancer. I'll tell you that for free.
Yes, you are.
Nah, Brent, you know what? That environment, yeah. Let me sit my stupid ass down. Like, that was the theme for me. Do you know what it is? I don't know if it was I was in my head that day or whatever, but I just made it such a big deal that when I got there and we started, within like 5 minutes, I just tapped out and was like, let me sit on the side. Yeah, I was like, I can't do this. I felt really stupid. Like really stupid. And whilst a lot of people were having fun, because the room was mixed, there was dancers and people who obviously weren't like professionals and stuff. And I was watching them and I was just like, I look like you and I don't want to look like that. So no.
Is there context I'm missing?
But they were having fun. You know what it is? I'm too much of a thug. I can't do the sexy dancing stuff. It's not.
Oh, that's the context.
Yeah, it's not me. It's too foreign. I felt really stupid. And I was like, do you know you're a thug? This ain't for you.
Interesting.
So I took myself to the side and just continued to be camera woman.
Do I care about sexy dancing?
Do you care?
As in...
As a man?
I don't think I do.
I don't know. It just really frustrated me because do you know what it is? You know, like, I'm like, do you know, you're a woman. You should be able to lead in, you should be like...
Is it?
Yeah, that's how I felt. I felt very unaccomplished.
Wow.
Yeah. In that moment, I did. I was like, you're not a woman. Go and sit by the side.
All right.
Yeah.
That's another...
Obviously, that's not...
Another complication in this month.
Yeah, exactly. Something else to add to. Yeah, I just thought, obviously, I'm over exaggerating, innit? I know who I am. I know I blow things out of proportion and make them worse than they actually are. So it was definitely me in my head because everyone was like, go back in. And I was like, no.
Question though, and this is to you too, Emmanuel.
Mm-hmm.
What is better for a woman to just be walking or standing there and just scream sex appeal? Or for her to need to engage in motion and movement to induce that sex appeal?
Most definitely just being able to stand there, man.
This is what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think so?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I also don't think I'm a sexy person. I don't think I ooze that either. I think I literally scream fuck life.
And when the man reaches his waistband and pulls up the... and you bite your lip. That's the thing, man. That's the thing, man.
Because no one does that. Loser.
That's the thing, man. That's the thing. You saw Emmanuel drinking something earlier. The thing is, if I had said it, nobody would have believed me because obviously people think I lie all the time, innit?
Because you do, Brent.
I'm a Trinidad. I'm a storyteller, right?
Is he?
I live for entertainment.
I agree.
But what was... You say it in your own words. What did you walk in and see Emmanuel's drinking?
Oh yeah, guys, sorry. You know Brahima is sat here drinking Magnum at 8 something in the morning. So I was like, why are you trying to get aroused at 8 o'clock in the morning?
This is not what happened. I came in, I asked Brent for water. He said no. So then I saw a Magnum from yesterday that Mark's left for me, innit? And then I thought...
You bought this from outside, don't lie.
And then I took the Magnum because I was like, Brent, I need something to, you know what I mean? Because I had some supplements.
Can I tell you why he's lying? There's a bottle of water right next to the Magnum.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, I'm just saying.
Because Brent later brought it.
Right now, guys, there is a big 1.5, by the way, 1.5 litre of water.
And the thing is...
Right next to and there's no Magnum.
Do you know the thing is?
There's no Magnum.
I saw him swigging that and I said, wait a minute. Let me get you something you should be drinking at this time.
Hour, yeah.
Do you understand? That's why there's a bottle of water next to
I'm not going to lie. I was flabbergasted. Like, you of all people. Magnus.
It's just a
Oh, okay.
drink, but I don't have the drink. You guys are just making it up.
Emmanuel, don't make me get up and pick up the bottle because I really will.
Can you imagine?
Like, I actually
you
will.
don't have to.
No, but
because
I
it doesn't
will.
exist.
And Emmanuel, for the love of God, like, please don't push my buttons because it would take me 3 steps. Guys, if you want me to do it, say it in the chat because I will get up.
You know what?
and
Let's
show you
do a poll. Poll, people. Do you believe me or Gina? Remember, Gina is on the same side as Brent. That's just for, you know what I mean? Who do you believe, me or Gina? There you go.
Okay.
No, do the poll. Brent, do the poll.
All right, I will.
See, everyone is even saying it. Magnum. Some people haven't even brushed their teeth. They're wiping the sleep from their eye, and you're swigging a Magnum. Is everything okay at home?
Listen, it's all because I don't have the Magnum.
You know what? I'm done.
Wait a minute. let's talk about it.
Get on my nerves.
The poll
You're
is
getting
up.
on my nerves.
The poll is up.
I've even voted. I'm the first vote.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would just believe that Gina would just make stuff
Now,
up.
why would I lie?
Gina's last name is not Coaches.
To be fair.
Oh gosh.
Damn it.
No, but in all seriousness, why? Is it generally like you generally just like the taste of the drink?
Yeah.
Really?
If I was the drink one, yeah. Just like the drink.
You don't mind the time?
What's the time got to do with it? It's just a normal drink. It's just a normal drink.
Would you drink Supermalt at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah, why not? It's just a drink.
People like you need to be studied, man. Like,
What's wrong with like tomorrow in the morning?
do you drink? You drink alcohol? I've seen you drink
I'm not
alcohol.
drinking.
Yeah.
You mean
TBA.
allegedly right now?
No, like I've seen. Like I'm not saying you're a big alcohol drinker, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying like you would drink a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not a big drinker, but I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't drink. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
that's
my
what I'm
point
saying.
is, yeah. So we're on the same page. I'm not throwing you under the bus because right now you're trying to pander to the listeners.
I need to win the
point,
poll.
But my point is, yeah,
Yes.
I wouldn't drink tequila or a cocktail or any kind of alcoholic substance.
Yeah.
I wouldn't drink cider. I'm not drinking Copperberg. I'm not any of those things. Yeah.
Yeah.
At 8 a.m. in the
Do you know what the
morning.
thing is? I think we need to normalize drinks. Because why is it some drinks okay after a particular time and not before?
You answer that question and tell me why it's okay to drink tequila at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Because
And don't tell me because in another country it's 12 p.m. somewhere.
you answered it for yourself.
We're not in that other country right now. We're in the United Kingdom.
Because you like the taste. You like the blend of the you know what I mean? So let's just say you had a cocktail, one of them, I don't even know.
So you wouldn't say it's alcoholism?
No, not at all. Because the cocktail ain't gonna get you like waved or nothing.
Says who?
I mean, you need like 3 or something.
It depends. Some cocktails are creepers, you know.
Okay, what about red wine before 12?
I'm not a wine drinker, but to me it's the same. It's alcohol.
Okay, so what if you had, let's just say like, you know, there's certain people that like to eat dinner, stuff that you would expect to be eaten around dinner time in the evening, in the morning, right? Would you say that's crazy? So imagine you had like, I don't know, chicken, potato.
No, I get it. It can be looked at as crazy because it's not the norm. But in
That's
Ghana,
what I'm
people are
saying.
eating wache for breakfast.
Thank you very much.
At
Now
6
imagine
a.m.
you wanted to have that with a bit of a dessert wine. You're all right then, you know
At
what I mean?
6 a.m. I still think it's crazy. I'm not gonna lie, because even me, I ain't eating wache at 6 a.m.
Why?
unless it's after the motive. Because after the motive, I can eat and I'm going to bed. But for me to start my day,
Yes.
absolutely not.
Yeah, that's because I guess most people that do that, respectfully, they don't know when the next meal will be, innit?
No, I get it. And obviously,
You know?
it's like you've probably got a long shift or
A
whatever.
long one,
No,
yeah.
I understand that. But for those that don't, I don't get the logic. But yeah.
Yes. Well, happy Pride Month, Gina. How
Thank
you doing? You're wearing the black, which represents diversity.
Oh, okay.
In the Pride Month, in the Pride calendar, in the Pride, what's that thing called? Flag. You know what I'm saying? Brent, what am I representing today again?
Green?
Yes, what's green?
Check.
Thank you. We've tried to represent different colours this week, you know what I'm saying? So we've done the black, obviously. We've done the pink. I think Brent did the yellow. Today doing the green, you know what I'm saying? I think we've even done this.
Nature.
You know what I'm saying? Nature.
How do they pick like what? Like, how do they pick that it was the month of June?
Sorry. Let me adjust that.
Mm.
It represents attraction to people who identify outside the traditional male-female binary.
Mm.
For Emmanuel, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
It's for all the people. I'm wearing it to show them it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Be proud. Pride
I
month,
love
man.
that for you.
Thank you. I'm trying my best, you know what I mean, to represent our people. Yeah, what's the question? What you say?
How did they decide? Like, who decided that Pride Month was in June?
I have no
And
idea.
how did they, like, how?
I don't know, you know. It might be, I'll definitely need to check this. This is just me speculating. But in 1969, there was an uprising, Stonewall uprising, which started the whole Pride Month and shining a light on, I guess, people who are marginalized because of their, you know what I mean, their gender and their sexual preference and things like that. So it might have happened in June 1969. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know. So we'd have to double check with ChatGPT or with some people in the chat and whatnot. But yeah. Brent, I got a couple of videos I want to show in the intro, if you don't mind. Which one would you prefer to see? First, okay, pick a number, Gina, 1 or 2?
2.
Okay, Brent, if you don't mind playing the second one. And this is basically a clip from back in the day, I believe in the 90s. And there's a discussion being had between, well, you're going to see it for yourself.
American and white and human become synonyms. That why can't we just treat each other as human beings? To me, when I hear it from a white person, it means why can't we all just pretend to be white people? I'll pretend you're a white person, and then you can pretend to be white. Why you think that, hey, it'll all be fine when we just treat each other like human beings. And what that says to me is, don't be yourself. Be like me. Keep me comfortable. Connect where I'm ready to connect. Come out to my place. Or maybe I'll come down and get some artifacts from your place. That is bullshit. American and white.
Do you know what's interesting about that? Yeah. You know, after you scream and you get quiet, yeah, it's like, okay. I get the passion.
Yeah.
I do get the passion.
The pain just came out, innit?
Yeah, I get it. But at the end, when he just rocks back and forth, I just thought, yeah.
Brent, what was your thoughts about that, man?
Do you think you can marry an activist, Gina?
Do I think I can what?
Marry an activist?
I don't think so, you know.
Too much?
Yeah, I don't think so. So I think sometimes I look at you like, calm down. No, I'm joking. I don't know. I've never considered it. Yeah, I guess it kind of just depends on what stage in life I'm at. But it would be interesting though. It would not be on my bingo card for sure. Yeah.
I'm seeing in the chat, people are basically like, calm down, mate, and misplaced energy, and I'm thinking, what?
Do you know, I guess the problem is we haven't seen, that's the problem when you only see one isolated clip because you don't know what was said before, you don't know what was said after, like, do you get what I mean? So it's kind of hard. So from a glance looking at it, I understand why some people are like, calm down, because it's like the people you're speaking to aren't, they seem to be listening and taking in what you're saying. So maybe there's no need for the theatrics, because sometimes, you know, when you are theatrical and you're loud and you're shouting, it takes away from the message because you don't pay attention to the message. You're more paying attention to everything else. Do you see what I mean? So I think in that situation, like, you see how at the end I was just like, wow, that was, you know what I mean? Like, yes, the message was powerful, but my main focus was on the drama as opposed to really taking in what he was saying.
Maybe because, like you said, it's just a clip, innit? Like, if you was there seeing the whole conversation, you'd see why the anger just built up.
No, of course.
You know
That's what I'm saying. It's hard.
But I think for me, like, just seeing the conversation and just knowing the nature of the subject, I can understand why he feels this way. You know what I'm saying? And this is in the 90s. What the hell has changed today?
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. And the people that he's talking to, at one point were laughing, and at the other point, just sitting there like, One of the slaves are acting up today, man. This is
I didn't see it like that. I think I saw it more as in like
they're taking it in.
Like he's right. Like it's kind of like, what can you say after that? Do you get what I mean? It's not one of the, it's I didn't get the energy of no, he's going off again. It was more like shit then. Do you get what I mean? Because there's truth to what he's saying.
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen for hundreds of years that they hear the truth and dismiss the truth.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of how I was seeing it, you know. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that to the people and say that was in the 90s and yeah, we're now in the 20-somethings and nothing's changed. And if we're hoping things will change, then the same things, God damn it, we'll be like this in 20 years' time. Anyway, the next thing I wanted to play is a clip which kind of ties in, but when you're ready, just play the first clip. Kind of ties into some degree what we were talking about yesterday. Yesterday we were talking about Sangeeta, Sangeeta Miska, who used to be a host on LBC, and how she basically got removed. It's not even alleged, it was clear. She had a conversation with an Israeli representative talking about the unjust things they're doing in Gaza and also in Iran, right? This was maybe a year or so ago. They cancelled the rest of the 16 shows they had planned for her, right? She doesn't get to say goodbye to her following, nothing of the sort. Somebody else calls up, a white guy, calls up to speak to James O'Brien and basically says, this is the problem I have. He's talking generally, then he remembers obviously about the thing with Sangeeta and that how people just get called anti-Semitic simply because they have a view that is criticizing the regime of Israel. He goes into that. And he said, this is exactly the same thing that happened with you guys on LBC. Sangeeta had an interview with XYZ, you lot got rid of her, pardon me. James O'Brien gets upset and he's like, no, you're just lying and this is what you guys are doing and that's what he even said is anti-Semitic. He's like, what? This is the problem. How is anti-Semitic basically articulating something that all of us observed, right? And he basically says, I don't even like the fact that Sangeeta, he doesn't mention her by name, but obviously he's talking about her, knows that what occurred is not true, and she doesn't even come out and open her mouth and basically defend the LBC when she knows full well it's not true. He said, basically, every quarter, every 3 months, we all sit together in a room, they all go through our ratings, and we basically see who's good, who's not good in it. And that's the reason why she obviously is not here anymore.
But if that really was the case, then they would have given her the opportunity to say goodbye.
There you go.
It wouldn't have been so abrupt.
There you go.
So
he's a bloody liar, right? And then she's obviously come out, I believe, last week and basically put out a whole statement now. She let it go, and she's basically said that she's basically disappointed at him, and basically says that she's aware that people at LBC obviously know that she couldn't say anything. She said that the NDA basically is indefinite, you know. She can't talk about the matter in any detail, but obviously it was because of that. Like you said, she wasn't able to say goodbye to her people. They cancelled 16 weeks of scheduled programming for her. Cancelled it, just threw it out the window. Obviously, they brought in Vanessa Phelps, who Ramsey let us know is a staunch Zionist. So in fact, we know. If you listen to any of her shows, you see the side she's on. She's Jewish, makes sense. Well, you know what? No, it doesn't make sense. Because still, there are plenty of Jews out there, especially the black Jews, who don't agree with what's going on in Israel. Anyway, I say all of that to say this. This is why people, I guess, have the perception they do. And I was just minding my business and I saw this clip. And these are people who are trying to be mayor in New York. The question is, where would you have your first foreign visit? This is the New York mayor, you know. Imagine somebody saying to you, oh, you're going to be the mayor of bloody Manchester. Where do you want to go on your first visit? Listen to the answers they all say. And then listen to the guy that answers contrary. Listen to how they treat him.
The first foreign visit by a mayor of New York is always considered significant. Where would you go first? Left to right, Ms. Adams.
First visit, I would visit the Holy Land.
Mr. Cuomo.
Given the hostility and the anti-Semitism that has been shown in New York, I would go to Israel.
Mr. Tilson, where would you go?
Yeah, I'd make my 4th trip to Israel, followed by my 5th trip to Ukraine, two of our greatest allies fighting on the front lines of the global war on terror.
Mr. Mamdani.
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Mr. Mamdani, can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel as mayor?
I will be doing, as the mayor, I'll be standing up for Jewish New Yorkers, and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs, whether that's in their synagogues and temples or at their homes or at the subway platform, because ultimately we need to focus on delivering on their concerns.
And just yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
I believe Israel has the right to exist.
Not
as a Jewish state?
Notice.
As a state with equal rights.
He won't, he
Not
won't
as
say
a
it
Jewish
has a
state.
right to exist as a Jewish state. Be very
And
clear
his
on
answer
that.
was no, he won't visit Israel.
I said that very
That's what he was
clearly.
trying to say.
No. Unlike
No,
you, I
you
answer.
never-
Unlike
you
you, I
never
answer
said
questions
no.
very
Okay.
directly.
All right.
My goal would be to take my first trip to Israel. My wife's life work in this area means a lot to our family, and it could coincide with my young son Miles' bar mitzvah, if you'd like to have his bar mitzvah.
Okay, but the first foreign visit by a mayor of New York.
That's it. But yeah, just wanted to show what's going on in New York, which is maybe 7,000 to 8,000 miles away from Israel.
Interesting.
But yes, man can't even say I'm representing Jewish people in New York without being called something. But anyway, that's all I wanted to show to the people. Stay woke, people. Happy Pride Month and that. Brent, when you're ready, let's get into the headlines.
Can we take a moment to celebrate Eddie and his accomplishments, please?
Okay. Come on, Eddie.
He has graduated.
Oh, congrats.
Serious?
Yes.
From where?
All right.
Wow, that is a 21 gun salute, boy.
He was on a program studying clinical medical assistance,
Jeez.
and he has graduated. And he has been kind enough to share the pictures and the videos with us in the Discord. Anybody who wants to basically go and view it and congratulate him, please make your way to the Discord. It's the general chat and thread. And please send him your love.
Big up Eddie, man.
Every single time.
Have you noticed, or is it just me? Like Eddie seems to be blossoming and opening up more and more.
Well, that's what happens when it is that you look to recognize the men as well as the women. We're very balanced, right?
No, Eddie don't recognize the men though.
He has started recognizing.
Oh, is it?
100%.
Oh, there you go. That's probably what makes. Anyway, big up Eddie, man. Amazing accomplishment. Amazing. Proud of you, mate. But yeah. All right, people. It seems like there is trouble in Reform, man. Zia Youssef has resigned as the chairman of Reform UK, saying working to get the party elected was no longer a good use of my time. In a post on social media, Youssef did not expand further on his reasons for stepping down. However, it comes after he said it was dumb for the party's newest MP to call on Sir Keir Starmer to ban the burqa. Reform leader Nigel Farage said he was genuinely sorry that Youssef was resigning, describing him as enormously talented. Farage said that Youssef was a huge factor in the party's success in the last month election when Reform won a by-election, 2 mayoral races and gained 677 new councillors. This is what he wrote on social media. Politics can be a highly pressured and difficult game, and Zia has clearly had enough. He is a loss to us and public life. In a post on X, Youssef wrote, 11 months ago, I became chairman of Reform. I've worked full-time as a volunteer to take the party from 14 to 30% in national polls, quadrupled its membership, and delivered historic electoral results. Next headline, and Brent, there's a clip there if you don't mind playing it in the title. The US President Donald Trump says he was very surprised and disappointed with former ally Elon Musk's criticisms of his centerpiece budget bill. Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we will have that anymore. It was the president's most direct criticism yet of Musk's lobbying efforts against the proposals to cut taxes and slash government spending, a plan that has drawn criticism from the tycoon and some Republicans. In response, Musk doubled down on X and accused the president of ingratitude, adding, "Without me, Trump would have lost the election." Musk left his post at the Department of Government Efficiency Doge last week after 129 days on the job, and Trump presented him with a golden key during a congratulatory news conference on the 30th of May. But in the days since, which is basically just a week, right, he has repeatedly criticized Trump's budget bill currently working its way through Congress, calling it a disgusting abomination and posting shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. The bill passed the US House and the backing of most Republicans, with a handful of representatives from Trump's party and all Democrats opposed. And yeah, Brian, what's the clip? I thought you had that.
I do. Gina, They've voted. They've said overwhelmingly they believe you. So you need to.
All right, so I need to come and show you.
That's racism. You guys don't know. Somebody came in just now.
You want to know what the joke is?
Somebody came in right now.
The joke is, it's even finished. Look at this. It's empty. Just the swallow. Just the swallow is left, yeah. Look at this small amount that is left.
Oh my goodness.
It doesn't even feel the lid. You're doing brother at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. this morning. I got in here, I think 8. Yeah. I was here at 8.
Late.
Yeah, that's fine. And when I got here, he was drinking it. And I said, oh. But guys, look. This is the bottle that your fellow economist. Your fellow economist is drinking at 8 a.m. in the morning, and you want to sit here taking his advice.
So I can be sharp for the show. But Ben, do you see how amazing this is? This social experiment, Brent.
Yes.
It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we don't need to go into the reality. But anyway, our last headline. In fact, no, Brent. There you go.
Disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot. Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here, better than you people. He knew everything about it. He had no problem with it. All of a sudden he had a problem, and he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate, because that's billions and billions of dollars, and it really is unfair. We want to have cars of all types. Electric, we want to have electric, but we want to have a gasoline, combustion. We want to have different. We want to have hybrids. We want to have all. We want to be able to sell everything. And if you saw the statements he made about me, which I'm sure you can get very easily, it's very fresh on tape. He said the most beautiful things about me. And he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next. But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot. A lot of good things are happening in this room. And I'll tell you, he's not the first. People leave my administration and they love us. And then at some point they miss it so badly, and some of them embrace it and some of them actually become hostile. I don't know what it is. It's sort of Trump derangement syndrome.
There you go, man.
I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon.
It seems the powerful partnership may be over for now, at least temporarily. Who knows what will happen. Our last set of headlines, there were 11,000 fewer pupils at private schools in England this January compared to the same time last year. It's according to the latest school census data. The figures, released on Thursday, come after the government removed the VAT exemption for private schools on the 1st of January. A government spokesman said that the drop in pupils remains firmly within historical patterns and shatters the myth of a private school exodus. That's a goddamn lie. Anyway, but private schools disagreed and said more pupils than expected were leaving the independent sector due to higher fees, putting more pressure on parents. The figures from the census of all schools in England provide the first complete picture of what is happening in the independent sector after the new 20% VAT on fees was introduced at the beginning of the year. Overall, 582,477 pupils in England attended private schools when the census was collected in January this year, down from 593,486 the year before, which is a drop of 1.9%. Overall, pupil numbers in England have fallen slightly to just over 9 million. There was a smaller drop, 0.6%, in the number of pupils not at private school. I think this is diabolical, man. I think it just speaks to Labour not wanting people to achieve, man. And I'm not saying that only people in private schools achieve, but why would you make it more difficult for people? Why? Well, what did you gain from this? What has this money gone towards, this money that has been saved? It's gone to nothing. It's probably gone to Ukraine, or probably to subsidizing the bloody weapons that you're selling to the devils out there who want to kill people for no damn reason. But anyway, people, let's get into our topic of the day. Yes, people. Also, thank you, Von. I don't know what came over me, man. But Eid, Saeed, man. Happy Eid to everybody.
How can you forget?
You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, it's just a reminder that sometimes we're human. You
It's
know what
because
I'm
he's
saying?
drinking Magnum. That's why he forgot.
This is not true. It's not
Sinning
true.
so early in the morning.
Allegedly. Anyway, by the way, you know that wasn't my drink, innit?
Oh, Emmanuel. You know what it is? It's not me that you need to be lying to. Like, you and I both know I sat here and saw you drink it. And we spoke about it before, and I told you I was going to expose you on air.
Can I ask you a question?
So, go on if you must.
If somebody said to you, you could double your money right now. You had £10,000. They said to you, no. In fact, it doesn't even matter. Any amount that you want, you can double it right now. If you're willing to bet that amount of money that was my drink and I was drinking it, would you do it?
Yes.
Brent, you see that?
Okay.
What I see is he is allowed to lie for entertainment,
Why?
and I'm not. I get maligned.
But this is what I don't understand. But my thing is though, but the thing is, people don't believe you because you're a bad liar as well.
Oh.
You don't even lie with conviction. No, but that's not a bad thing. To be honest, you shouldn't be good at lying.
You know what I mean?
So take it as a
This
badge
is
of
true.
honor.
I'll take the positives there.
Yeah, but I don't get why why are you embarrassed to let people know that you drank Magnum at 8 o'clock? Why can't you say it with your chest? Because you did. It's not like, do you know why I say that? It's not like you were shy to drink it in front of me, like you were hiding it, let me put it in a different cup. You sat here with your chest. You wanted me to know that I'm drinking Magnum with your chest. So now when it's public knowledge, you're scrambling?
No, do you know it's just one of those things where it's not obviously not your fault, innit? But it's one of those things where it just reminds me of stuff that happens in life, innit? We think we've seen something.
Oh, you know what? Brent, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you today because I hate. You know what I find bizarre? Like,
I want to take you out of your confusion, right? Because I don't want this to prolong. I just don't. I have a lot to do today. Before you arrived, he said, "Brent, can you put a camera on me?" All right, cool. Who's that bottle there? I said, no, it's probably behaviors. He said, why do you just leave stuff there? I said, they do it all the time, right? They leave alcohol all the time. There's alcohol right here, just the whole bottle. The thing is, I don't think you would have believed him swigging this. So he went for something that is believable, right? Your mind's already corrupted, right? Because he looks like the type to drink Magnum, so it was believable for you. If you saw me drinking it, you were like, "Bro, what are you doing?" Right? Because I don't look like somebody who basically does that 8 a.m. in the morning, and you know full well I won't drink alcohol. Do you understand? So that was going. But for your brother, Ima.
So you're telling me that he was?
So he said, "Hey, when it's live, like I'm gonna pretend to drink it." After that, I don't know what it was in his head. He just ran with it, and I just said, "Look, right, if it is that you want to be Brent today, then go run it."
Can I be honest? I'm sick of both of you at this point.
Wait, so do you believe me?
No, I don't believe you either.
Oh, what the hell?
No,
you lost.
No, I saw Emmanuel drink the drink.
You lost.
No. I saw Emmanuel drink the drink. No one can tell me otherwise.
So if you had 100K right now,
Stop it. There's no need to continue, somebody. There is no need.
Yeah, for
There is no need.
I saw you drink the drink. I don't care.
Guy.
I saw you drink the drink.
Wait. As in
Hello.
the tip was off?
Can we just
Was the cap off?
change the subject? So don't try and make it seem as if I'm mad right now.
No, I don't want you to continue because Emmanuel will continue for the entire show.
No, we got stuff to do, man.
You will keep on putting that price up. You will double it, triple it, quadruple it. I don't want you to be bankrupt. You need that money.
Yes. Anyway.
What you say? Oh.
All right, people. So, topic of the day. There's 2 clips I'm waiting to play. First clip, Brent, if you don't mind playing this. Basically, I don't know. Do you guys think this is more Islamophobia? Do you feel like sometimes Islamophobia? You know what? I'll ask the second question afterwards. But in terms of this first clip, this is basically what sets the scene. This is the reason why this conversation is being had, right? At least part of it is, anyway. And Brent's going to show you something that happened live on TV.
Khabib, what's up, man? How are you? How you doing? We got Khabib. How are you, sir? Khabib, what's up, man? How are you? How you doing? We got Khabib.
That's a cultural thing, though, no?
This is it.
But that's because I have
Brain.
I have wisdom. I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
But also, I think that it's lack of ignorance. You know how a lot of, let me not generalize, but like those who don't know much about that religion, or even have friends or are in close proximity to it, they won't understand.
Yeah.
But instantly, me watching that, I understand that it's probably because she's a woman and in their culture and religion. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how I saw it.
Yeah, 100%. Honestly, there isn't even much to this topic of the day, you know. It's mostly just highlighting this and also, I guess, the narrative around it. So
Even when I think about it, when I've been like in like, I guess, those types of countries and I've been with a guy, it's like, I'm not even acknowledged. They don't even look at me or talk to me. Like, your focus is talking to the man, speaking. Do you know what I mean? So
this is it. This is it. So Brent, there's a second clip that I wanted to play.
But what were people saying about that online?
Well, I think people were obviously trying to make it seem as though he didn't want to shake her hand, as like in a bad way.
Yeah.
And then I think when she became aware of the reason why he didn't want to, I think the narrative is that she was saying, "Oh, sorry, like, you know, for my misunderstanding." And then you've got this other person from LBC basically saying, "I don't see why she has to say sorry." And I think, why are we making an issue about something that shouldn't exist?
She doesn't have to say
She doesn't have
sorry.
to say sorry. He's not asking her.
Yeah, she doesn't have to say sorry, but it's not why does she have, but it's not that deep.
Boy.
For you now to be upset that she said sorry. She chose to say sorry because she wanted to, not because she had to.
Yeah, this is it.
Or?
Yeah, this is it. This is it. But Brent, second clip, please.
For proffering her hand. I don't think she had any need to apologise. And this isn't a criticism of her at all. I just don't like the idea that a woman in that moment, all she is boiled down to is woman, not professional, not broadcaster, not the lead person in that situation, which is what she is. She's a leading broadcaster in that situation. And it was just, I don't shake hands with women. So not only was she excluded by the man not shaking her hand, by him not offering his hand to her, when she then offered her hand to him, she was expected to say sorry. Kate felt obliged to apologise for proffering her hand.
No, but see, this is the thing where you're putting words into her mouth. Like, your sister, respectfully, calm down. Like, in that moment, she probably chose to because she felt maybe she got it wrong. And even the fact that when she went to shake his hand, he did this. Like, he gave her some sort of acknowledgement. He just didn't shake her hand. So it's not like he aired her. But again, I understand how, from like a feminist perspective, it's like, when she's talking about like being reduced to just being a woman and not being a professional and whatnot, I also kind of understand that narrative as well, though.
Okay.
Like, being a woman. Do you get what I mean? Like, in that situation. Because like I said, I've gone to those types of countries, and whilst I understand it's a cultural thing, it doesn't feel nice, though. Do you get what I mean? I accept that it's culture and religion, but that doesn't mean that it makes me feel good, if you get what I mean. But it is what it is. But I'm not going to make a big song and dance about it. But imagine like being in a space and it's just like, oh, okay. Do you know what I mean? It's that, oh, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
okay, you know what? Maybe
that's just my honest opinion of it. But it is what it is.
Yeah. I guess I never saw it that way. I think I just saw it as, why are you making this about womanhood? Like, there's no attack on gender here.
I know, but I guess it's because you're never going to be on this side of the fence, though. So you're never going to... you're never gonna experience it to know. But that's why when she was saying it, I thought, you know what, I hear it, because me being who I am and the situations I've been in, I have felt a bit like, not offended, but I have felt some type of way, but I've not, again, I'm never gonna make a big deal out of it, and it is what it is. You kind of just brush it off and go about your business, innit? But in that moment, it is a bit like a, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
It just made me think, do you feel like sometimes Islamophobia or racism or some sort of prejudice, something that is, I guess, permeating society that, you know, people who are the minorities have a problem with, is because of ignorance or because of genuine hatred. Do you get what I'm saying? Because in this situation, in my head, I'm thinking Kate, the one who didn't get her hand shaken, is thinking, oh crap, I didn't know. You know what? Sorry. This happened. It didn't seem like there was any malice, nothing. She didn't feel a particular way. But then you've got somebody else who takes on a narrative and who's now speaking to the whole of Britain, talking
but
about.
you know that's life, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
but
it's annoying, but like everybody takes on everybody else's battles and speaks for everybody else. Like that's. I'm not surprised that she's sitting there talking and saying all of this stuff. If you get what I mean, because everybody loves to put themselves in that situation and think, oh, if it was me, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. But I don't know, man. It just made me think, okay, cool. Is this one of those things where people are just, oh no, their ignorance is just shining through, and maybe it's an opportunity for those to just latch onto it. Those who are, you know, racist or whatever, to latch onto that and just make it a bigger issue than it is. And sometimes though, because like, sometimes you think something like Islamophobia does come from ignorance, or is it genuine hatred for something? Do you get what I'm saying? Because sometimes if you don't know something, you fear it. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's going to come next. You don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just strange to me. You know what I mean? Like, for example, let's just say, like, and Brent as well, yeah, I want you to think about this as well, yeah. Say the street that you're very familiar with, yeah. When you first moved here, let's just say you was 2 years old or whatever, you grew up knowing that, you know, there was fish and chip shops there was regular shops, like regular British shops, stuff that's just British culture or whatever, yeah. And things starts changing along that street. Do you feel like in today's society, you would feel somehow about articulating the fact that, wait a minute, things are changing, and I don't think that this street looks British anymore? Do you feel like that's strange to come from you guys' mouth as black people? Or do you feel like it's normal?
I guess one could argue, but you're one of the like, someone would look at you and not think that you're British because you're not white. So it's kind of like, oh, okay.
But is it one of those things that, because the thing is here, the reason why I'm asking this is because we've seen clips before where white people just talk about, oh yeah, you know, the place doesn't look British anymore. You know what I'm saying? And we're like, okay, yeah, we know the type of person you are. You know what I'm saying? But what if we were like that? What if we were like, you know what, I'm used to this place. I've been here for 30, 40, 50 years. And I don't know, things are changing now. The identity of this particular area has changed. And I don't feel like it represents me anymore. Do you get what I'm saying? Is that an ignorance thing or is that a hatred thing? And would it be weird for one of you guys, black people, to say this in this country?
I think it would be weird.
Why?
As in, I can't ever imagine it coming out my mouth. I can't imagine it being a thing. My brain wouldn't go there anyway, if I'm honest with you. I don't see, as much as I'm British, and like I said, like Ghana's my home, innit? Do you get what I mean? So not that I don't identify with being British, but I just know that Ghana is my home, if you get what I mean. So I can't, like I said, my brain wouldn't go down that road.
What about you, Ben?
What's the question?
If, for example, you're observing your area that you grew up in, yeah, you've been there for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, whatever it may be.
And it changes. And
it starts changing. And you articulate this to somebody. Do you feel like, as you're talking and saying these words, you would feel like, wait a minute, what's happening? Am I like, you know, one of these racist Brits? Or would you feel like, even though you know you're not one of them, yeah, would you feel as though it's weird for this sort of thing to come from your mouth?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, I would feel that way because I know this isn't my home. I'm a foreigner here.
So you would kind of check yourself and be like, what the hell's happened to me?
Yeah, also because I wasn't born here.
Yeah.
Do you understand? My connection to here is a bit different than Gina's connection to here. And your connection to here. You were born here, isn't it?
I was indeed, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So how about you? I should put the mirror in front of your face.
I don't think I would feel weird because I feel like I think that's a normal observation. Like even Black Rob said in the chat, we do the same thing too. We talk about Brixton like that, yeah. Of course, Brixton to us is one of those places that seems a bit more familiar, isn't it? Like that village that we've all kind of visited or come from. You know what I'm saying? So it's a bit different. But going to an area that didn't necessarily represent black people. Let's say going to Essex and you go there and settle there, right? And there's hardly any shops or any, I don't know, footprint that represents your African or Caribbeanness, right? And then seeing that change over the years and then saying, wait a minute, I don't like the fact that it's changed. I think that I might feel a way about that because that means I'm basically saying I'm happy with this place looking white, but I'm not happy with this place looking Asian. Why the hell do I feel that way? Do you get what I'm saying? But then at the same time, I might think to myself, wait a minute, it makes sense for this place to be white because this is Britain. But now things have changed to Asian. This is also a culture that's not my own. I'm not too sure if I feel comfortable here. How do they perceive me? Do you get what I'm saying? So in my head, I'm just thinking, are these just normal thoughts? And sometimes when you put a microphone in front of somebody and they're saying this, like, it seems as though, obviously, we'll be quick to say this person's racist or prejudiced, you know what I'm saying? When really it could just be, it's a culture change. And we all value culture for a reason because we all feel comfortable in that particular space. Do you get what I'm saying?
What would you need to see in your environment for you to utter those words and not feel any way about it?
As in to be like, this has changed now. And
what would you need to see changed?
I think it would be something that was a specific race owned and they were pushing that as their main thing. So let's just say I moved to an area, let's just say, I don't know, Essex or something. And it's just regular butchers, fish and chip shops, whatever you would expect from those sort of areas. And then over the years, I see an Asian-owned bank. Do you get what I'm saying? And I see maybe a Buddhist temple. Or, you know what I mean? Like something that's really speaks to someone's culture and it speaks to them having proper roots. Because you don't have those sort of institutions there unless it's deep rooted. Do you know what I'm saying? Then I think I would feel like, okay, wait a minute, what's going on there? But then I guess your question was what? To not feel away, right?
No,
or to
you
feel
said
away.
that you can picture yourself saying that, you as a black man born in this country.
Yeah.
And I asked you, what would you need to see change within your environment for you to say that?
I guess like I was saying, innit? Like those things, like where I'd see like
I'm just repeating what I said.
Yeah.
What you asked.
I think, yeah, it's the same answer. If I saw like institutions become present in that particular area, then it'll make me think, okay, what's going on there? You know what I'm saying?
So picture you in Pembury. Can you picture yourself saying that? And if so, what needs to change in Pembury for that to make sense to you?
The population will have to change.
Okay.
The population will have to change.
So just gentrification?
I don't know if it's gentrification. Sometimes people don't even live there. It's just more so they just conduct business there.
So when you say population,
so the residents.
I understand that, but what's the standard? The standard is what, majority black? What are we saying? Where are we starting?
I'm starting.
This is your example now, yes?
Okay, cool. So you're talking about like Hackney.
Hackney,
Okay,
yeah.
I don't think the majority of Hackney is black though, to be fair.
All right, let's start again. Let's not get confused.
Yeah.
You are in Pembury Estate.
Cool.
You walk out and you oversee the area, the little what do you call it? Not a courtyard, but the middle spot where you can see all the flats and you can see people congregating. And you see a whole set of different people. What are those different people that you need to see for you to say, oh,
as in that I'm not happy?
Yes.
I don't think I would feel that way because I think like if I'm being real,
so you wouldn't feel that way.
I don't think I would feel that way
Right.
in Pembury necessarily. I'll feel that way if there's maybe less black people. If it's more diverse, but the percentage of black people is there, then cool. But then the type of person I am too, I'm thinking, okay, cool. If there's less of us, where have we gone? If we've gone to a better place, then I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But if we're displaced and kicked out and told to go to Luton and Milton Keynes, then I'll feel like, what's going on there? Do you get what I'm saying? Like my brain wouldn't stop at the first hurdle. I would ask the questions. I would interrogate the entire idea. Do you get what I'm saying? To then see if this is something that's favorable or this is something that, you know what I mean, is unfair. That's how my brain would kind of do it. And this is the reason why I'm asking, why is it that sometimes we look at people who articulate their view on a particular thing and automatically think, I'm not saying there's all of us, of course, but we automatically think, oh, there's some racism there, or there's some prejudice there, or do you get what I'm saying? It might just be like, wait a minute, I'm used to this particular area and it's changing, and I now feel a bit less familiar. You know what I'm saying? I think it's as simple as going to Brixton right now. I went to Brixton. When did I go to Brixton? I can't remember. Last time I was there, I saw 3 plantain for £2. I said, what the hell's going on here?
Well, that's like, plantain's expensive now in general, though.
But in my head, I always used to think, you know what? Camberwell and Brixton might be the last hope. And when I see that change, of course, economics causes all of these things, right? But it's also a place that's maybe changed, because in my head, I'm thinking something else has happened here, where it's like the thing that we can call home, that we can get the best prices, that we can get the best this, the best of that, it doesn't seem to be there anymore. It's changing. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's something that would, I guess, come into my head. And if I was somebody from Brixton, I would think to myself, damn, what the hell's going on there? Do you get what I'm saying? Which I think goes back to what Black Rob was basically saying, that we kind of do the same thing. So, yeah, that's what I was basically trying to say. Make sense, Brent?
Cool.
Last thing I wanted to mention is obviously just about the burka thing, innit? I want to read part of the article. And this is basically, some people are saying it's the reason why Zia Youssef, the guy who was the Reform UK chairman, left in it, because obviously he said it was done for the party's newest MP to call on Keir Starmer to ban the burqa. And he's obviously saying that this wasn't part of their agenda last year, innit? I want to ask you guys quickly to wrap this up. Do you feel like he's dumb for even being part of reform, number one? Or do you feel like do you feel like he's dumb for even thinking that reform could represent people like him?
Yes, he's dumb.
Okay. That's it?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's interesting when it's like, do you know what I think it is as well, though? You know how sometimes people actually don't see themselves for who they really are?
He's dumb and dangerous.
You're literally in denial.
I don't think he's in denial.
You don't think so?
Nah.
Because it's very clear that you don't go here, but...
Yeah, he's one of those who kind of willfully, he sees himself as different anyway. 100% he sees himself as different. And positioning himself in that particular arena with those people around him, he wants their validation. He wants it. He yearns for it. He's a very successful man, you know.
Yeah.
He sold his company to, was it Capital One? Can't remember. Maybe it's not Capital One. Maybe it's something else. But I'm even sure that he funded a lot of Farage's campaign, and that's why he was gifted that particular position.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely crazy. He's a dangerous brown man. Very dangerous.
Why dangerous though?
Because just like Suella Braverman, just like Priti Patel, just like Kemi Badenoch, being placed in said position to appear not racist whilst absolutely disseminating the communities in which absolutely dangerous, wicked individuals. Absolutely. But if it is that you disagree, please let me know. Let me know why it is that you disagree.
No, I don't necessarily disagree. I guess for me, I don't always just say, the dangerous thing, but that's neither here nor there. What I was going to say to you is, though, it seems very clear that we can say, why the hell would you want to be part of these parties? I don't want to get what you're saying wrong, though, innit? But, like, you can want to be represented in these parties like Reform and in the Conservative Party, be in those top leadership positions like Priti Patel was, Suella Braverman was, Kemi Badenoch is, Zia Youssef was. But we don't see it the same as being in the Labour Party.
Who's we?
No. It might not be you. I'm just saying, like, generally, because obviously we know that's not the sentiment of black people. We know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm basically just saying, why is it?
How many times have I said that this guy from Brent, is it
David Lammy?
Not Brent, Enfield? Where is it? Somewhere in North London.
Tottenham.
Is it Tottenham?
David Lammy?
He's an MP from Tottenham.
David Lammy?
Yes.
Yeah, Tottenham.
How many times have I said this guy's an absolute animal?
100%.
Very dangerous.
But do you see him as dangerous because he's part of the Labour Party or because his mind is like an oppressor's mind?
Sorry, it has to be oppressor's mind. Are you Are you asking me if I see Labour the same as Conservatives?
No, I don't think anyone in this country sees Labour as conservative. The same
So
as
why
Conservatives.
would I approach the some differently if I don't see them as the same? And you're not asking me to see them as the same.
No,
Why are you surprised?
I guess for me, I don't necessarily. I know sometimes I do ask people to see. In fact, I think most of the time I do ask people to see them as the same.
You always do that.
Because I think they are the same. That's me personally. But I think most of us don't see them as the same. And I guess for me, sometimes I think to myself, why is that the case? Why is it that we can say that Azia, Yusuf, or Kemi Badenoch, they're maniacs, like they're so confused? Do you get what I'm saying? And I hear what you're saying. It's like you're kind of saying that's the same for David Lammy. But is it, I guess my issue, my question is your issue with him as a person, this is how he is, even if he wasn't part of the party? Or is it because he's in the party thinking he can do something in the party?
Him, because remember, I'm a fan of Diane Abbott.
Okay, cool.
And she's in the party.
True indeed.
Yes? Bear in mind, I don't see Labour saying ban the burqa.
Of course not. They won't say that.
100% they may have
Tories
their little
wouldn't say
programs
that,
and whatnot that look to be detrimental to black people as well as other people.
Yeah.
But they're not coming and saying in Parliament, ban the burqa.
Yeah.
Do you know how divisive that is?
100%. But the Tories wouldn't say that, though. This is something that you expect from a reform.
I can guarantee you that strapline, even when it is Boris was in power, that can fly. I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't know what you're talking about. Wasn't there an instance where was it either Suella or Priti Patel said something, and they had to come out and say, hey, wait.
No, but I don't know what the something is, isn't it? You can't say something.
Yeah, wait. I'm trying to jog your memory and also Gina's memory. Political correspondent. Try to remember, right? Try to pluck it out of somewhere dark that and recess your memory. That it was during I think it was just after like some sort of protest or maybe before a protest, and she came out and said something, and it was like, oh, that's on the nose.
And you don't remember what she said?
No, I don't. But let me move my hand from here and ask ChatGPT. Chat will know. Hold on. Give me a second to process this.
I think to some degree, maybe add on to your point though, Brent. Sometimes you're going to get people saying certain things in it, but I don't think it would ever be something that let me not say ever, to be fair. Anything can happen in the next 20 years, especially with what seems to be most of Europe anyway. The big countries in Europe moving more to the right in it, so you never know. But I don't think the Tories will be like, yo, ban the burqa, to do this, and I think that's a bit too much. You know what I'm saying? I think they're wise enough to think about strategy. Reform are amateurs at this point. They're still amateurs. You know what I'm saying? It's part of the reason why I think they will never be the leaders of the country. But Tories at least would have some strategy to their agenda. They're pretty much aware that they can't win and being that divisive, I think. You know what I mean? It has to be something that benefits them, but in a more of a sly political, economic, social way. Similar to what Labour's doing right now. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
Talk to us.
I think I have it.
All right.
Can you remember homeless is a lifestyle choice?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Homelessness
that
is a
was
lifestyle
Suella,
choice.
innit?
I think it was.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was.
100%. I remember that one.
But
that's homelessness, though, isn't it?
Yeah. You obviously it's different than like a racist trope or whatnot.
Surely most homeless people are white, innit? In this country.
Yeah, due to the sheer amount of numbers, right?
Yeah. So you know what I mean? That's just a class thing. Not just, but it's a class thing. It's not a race thing. You know.
All right. So in your honest opinion, you don't think that may come from the front benches of the Conservative Party?
No.
You believe it may come from the back benches, right? Because anything can come from the back benches.
Yeah, I don't think you would hear it in Parliament, though. I think they might even be talking about that behind closed doors right now, in fact. Certain people, 100%. But I wouldn't be surprised if I also heard that from Labour right now behind closed doors. Nothing surprised me about Labour. I really see them as They're the same thing. Honestly, that's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? This is why I think every now and again, I kind of just spew these ideas that, what are we doing there? Why do we support Labour like this when they're the same thing? Because in my head, I see them as the same thing. I was saying this before the elections, isn't it? This is why Finan said what he said the other day. Like, I think you're right, man. Like, it's the same damn thing. Like, Labour's the same as Tories, but it's more harsh on your pockets. That's how I see it.
Again, another thing to jog your memory,
Yes.
and correct me if I am wrong. Was Boris Johnson in power when he said that thing about the letterboxes?
No, he wasn't. Not at all. I think this was even before he was even mayor of London. It was a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah. Anyway, I guess we can wrap it up there. Let's go into our next set of headlines, Brent.
All right.
All right, people. So, women taking weight loss jabs must use contraception and wait up to 2 months after stopping the medication before trying to get pregnant. This is what the government's health agency has warned. The MHRA, the Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, has issued a warning about the use of GLP-1 medicines, which are both used for weight loss and also to treat diabetes. It says that the glucagon-like peptide 1 receptor basically must not be taken during pregnancy, while trying to get pregnant, or whilst breastfeeding. Women who are attempting to get pregnant have been warned to stop using the medicine for 2 months. 2 months at least, guys, before trying to have a baby. It is because there's not enough safety data to know whether taking the medicine could cause harm to the fetus. Mounjaro has also been found, this is the name of the thing basically, has been found to reduce the effectiveness of oral contraceptives in those who are overweight. This means anyone using the jab should also use condoms, particularly during the first 4 weeks and after any dose increase. Bridget Phillipson, who's a Minister for Women and Equality, she was speaking to Sky News, and she said it's important that people are fully informed before using the weight loss jabs. And that's what we're doing here in TDA, guys. If you're considering the weight loss jabs, consider your future with regards to family, adding to your family as well.
What's wild is I got an email yesterday about a paid campaign to promote Ozempic and Mounjaro, and I thought, y'all are hilarious. But lucky I've got morals, boy.
What is that? Is that really an anti-morals thing?
I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it anyway.
Could the money change your mind?
No, it's annoying. I wish it could, but no. If it was anything else, some things I might consider, but with something like that, no.
What if you were able to frame it and say, listen, guys, you know, I'm a gym person. I'm always going to say this should be your first, second, or third thing that you should attempt to do before trying anything else. But what I've recognized is, realistically, in this world, there's some people who really struggle with weight loss.
No, I hear that. I just don't want to be the spokesperson for it. Do you know what it is? It's morals, isn't it? That's what I'm saying. Like, money is great, but I know that I feel like it's not being authentic.
Okay.
Because even those that have, like, problems and stuff, I was still always like, unless you've explored and exhausted every single option and can say that you've actually done it and been committed and followed a plan and not been lazy and tried to find, do you know what I mean? Because half the time when you ask people to be realistic and be honest with what they've done, you will see all the flaws and the holes in whatever they've been doing. Do you get what I mean? Like the other day after my class, a lady came up to me and she was just asking me questions about like her stomach and diet and stuff, and it's like, I could see that what I was saying, she just wasn't interested in hearing. And like, I just thought, okay, like, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. Like, I'm just not going to.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you just have to try it. And she was like, yeah, but, and I was just like, okay, but like, and she was so like, not disheartened, but I could see she wasn't even going to try it because she already, the aura, everything, the energy she was giving me was, she tapped out from the moment I started. And I thought, I can't save you. You're going to have to save yourself. And I can't force you to, do you know what I mean, to make those changes.
Let me ask you, if you can remember, what's been the most challenging client you've had? Yeah. And not necessarily mentality. I'm talking physically. The reason why I'm asking you, because, you know, sometimes you see crazy things on your Explore page, innit? I shouldn't say this is a crazy thing, but basically, you know, sometimes you might see like a crazy thumbnail going to it. It's not really what the thumbnail is. But with this situation, it was. And it's not a crazy thing, guys. Don't come for me. But basically, a woman, she's pregnant, but she's got no arms. Black woman. Has there been somebody who's come to you physically challenged in some way? And you think, wow, this person, you know what I'm saying? But how do I now train them to, you know what I'm saying, round this challenge?
I don't think I've had that. I think the most I've had is like hormones.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, so especially with women, like.
But isn't that's a normal thing?
No.
Then? Okay. Well,
Because
how was
when
hers
you're
crazy?
dealing with because when I say things like dealing with someone who's suffering with like endometriosis or polycystic ovary syndrome and stuff like that, there's a lot more challenges that they have to kind of go through.
Okay.
In comparison to a person that doesn't.
Yeah.
So that's a challenge. I think that's probably the most, that's the most I've probably had to deal with.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Thank you for that, Gina. Trigger warning on this one, people. Big trigger warning on this one. A former professional footballer has appeared in court charged with assaulting Sugar Babe singer Keisha Buchanan and controlling when she could shower or go to the gym. Taiwo Leo Atieno, who's 39 years old, faces 8 charges relating to his ex-girlfriend, Miss Buchanan, during an approximately 13-year period. The former Luton Town and Kenya national team player appeared via video link from HMP Wormwood Scrubs wearing a suit and tie. He was not asked to enter pleas, and the judge Ian Bourne KC granted his release from prison on conditional bail during the Harrow Crown Court case sitting at Southwark on Thursday. Atieno from Brixton, South London, is charged with assaulting the founding Sugar Babe singer between January 1st of 2012 and January 1st of 2015, causing her actual bodily harm. He's also charged with controlling or coercive behaviour against Miss Buchanan between December 29th, 2015 and May 1st of 2018. The charge alleges that he opened Miss Buchanan's correspondences, would not let her wear red lipstick, and that he controlled her finances and when she could go to the gym and even when she could shower. And our last headline, Algerian boxing bosses have issued a furious response to boxing's new world governing body for a violation of Imam Khalif's right to medical confidentiality. A statement released by World Boxing last week naming Khalif, while outlining its new policy of gender testing, has created psychological damage to our athlete. This according to the Algerian Boxing Federation. In a letter, the Federation president said the consequences are immeasurable. He added that the statement had internationally harmed our national sports movement and that Khalif was not given the right to defend herself, nor did World Boxing hear from the doctors specializing in endocrinology who follow her. This week, World Boxing President Boris van der Vorst wrote to the Algerian governing body admitting that Khalif's privacy should have been protected. In his letter, he also revealed that the organization will not examine any boxer's previous results, which suggests all records to date for all boxers will stand. So Khalif won, for those who don't know, she won a gold medal at the Paris Olympics. The apology came after leaked medical report of a gender test taken from Khalif in 2023, published on the 3Wire sports website, which appeared to indicate the boxer is biologically male. And there we go. When I first spoke about this earlier this week, I believe it was Sky News. They basically said, obviously, pretty much what everyone's pretty much been reiterating about the Russian organization basically that used to run it, and basically saying, oh, they're corrupt and all this sort of stuff. They actually never took a test. Obviously, the way they're responding to this shows that they did actually take a test, and obviously they've known all along, at least the Russians knew all along, that she was biologically male, man. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I feel for her, man. I feel for her. Brent, there's a clip that I wanted to play quickly. It's in that actual headline. And this is basically a discussion that's been had between somebody who represents, I guess, who's trying to defend her, and somebody on GB News.
Where did you say what?
It's in the actual headline, so in the title.
All right, okay.
your take on the fact that the medical records have come out and it seems to prove conclusively that Khalif is in fact a biological man?
Hi, Martin. Thanks for welcoming me back. First of all, standard respect, dignity applies. This person is a woman. Appreciate that doesn't necessarily align with your belief system, but in common society, we should be referring to her as a woman who maybe
It's nothing to do with my belief system, Joanne. It's the biological evidence. It's not a belief system. It's the difference between truth and fantasy. The truth
but
is
Martin,
out.
as you know, your belief system doesn't allow you to just willy-nilly misgender people and treat them without respect. So could I just ask, could we refer to Iman as a woman, as she, please, for this interview? But anyway, going back to the point at hand, the test results we're talking about here are the ones that were produced by the discredited test that was already been discussed and discredited. These were leaked. I don't know whether these test results are accurate. They were discredited. But what I do know is this person, this woman, was born a woman, raised as a woman, and has lived as a woman all of her life. And what we're now doing is we're now judging her based on how she looks, how she sounds, and how we perceive her. I think this sets a worrying precedent that we're going to be seeing more and more women who don't conform to the gender stereotype of normal, whatever that may be, being sex tested by having their mouth swapped. I think it's regressive. We're going back in time to an era when this was abhorrent, and we moved past this. And it just shows that the world's gone crazy.
So, Joanne, in that case, do you think it's progressive and it's forward-looking to see somebody like Iman Khalif pulverize a woman to the point where they're on their knees crying, clearly, physically mauled, physically out-muscled in every aspect? Is that the progressive side here?
Well, we know there's been some media conspiracy here. Some of our opponents we know have been paid money to pull out competitions, to create this fuss. So boxers know when they get in the ring, they're going to get hurt, they're going to get hit. Whether Iman Khalif herself is stronger, I don't know. I don't know whether she is or not.
Well, you can see that. You can see that by the physical attributes. I mean, just look at the evidence before your eyes. Forget about your belief system. Look at the evidence with your own two eyes, Joanne. Look at the physical stature of Iman Khalif. Look at Khalif next to their opponent. Simply no chance whatsoever.
I don't know the biological status of these two boxers. I'm saying you're telling me there's a test. These leaked results, which again were from a discredited one. But what we need to do in sport is we need to look at how we're judging people and whether what we're saying is you develop physically as a, if you want to use the term biological woman, there are many biological women. I've seen them on the rugby field. They are very, very large, 6 foot plus, very muscular. So just because you're a biological woman doesn't mean to say your muscles are less effective and less developed than a biological man, if that's the terms you want to use. So what we need to be careful here is what we're doing is we're holding up one example of a biological woman versus someone who is intersex or their biology is indeterminate at this particular point in time.
Well, there we go, man. I was just trying to show, obviously, you guys the type of conversations that will now come from this. It's sad though, because I like I said many times on the show, I feel for her, man. And I think this is the reason why you just got to take it away from the whole woman thing and how she identifies as a kid, and how she looks and all that sort of stuff, and just bring it down to the biology. Because at least then, I'm hoping anyway, the narrative isn't one of trying to frame her like she looks like this and she looks like that. All the look stuff is nonsense. You know what I'm saying? We need to throw that away. You know what I'm saying? Just because she's muscular or whatever, like, doesn't mean anything. Why shouldn't she be muscular? She's in a sport that, requires muscles. But, yeah, man, it's sad. It's sad, but we'll see what happens, man. But that's pretty much it for the headlines. Time to pay them bills. And Brent, let's get into asking for a friend.
All right. Do you want to give me your iPad?
Take the charge as well. Should I just read it?
Yeah, please. There's too much going on.
All right, people. We've got asking for a friend. It seems like it's a bit of a lengthy one. One second, people. All right, so this person is okay. Name is former house hunter, so I guess we can say that. And he said, "Hey TDA team, what's today's mathematics? Today's mathematics is equality. You know what I'm saying? Which I think is apt for this month. So big up you for asking the question. Just a quick update from my previous 3-part submission. I actually moved out over the past few weeks.
This is the guy who the mum in
With the mum, I think so, yeah. Big you up, man. It's still early days, but so far things have been going smoother than expected. The emotional weight I thought would hit me on my mum hasn't landed as heavily, at least not yet. I'm sure things will keep shifting as time goes on, but for now, it feels like the right step. The responses and advice from the community were well received, though I did notice some instances of projection. Okay? That said, my mum has now switched gears and is suddenly pushing for marriage, as if it's the next logical step. No exaggeration, I barely had the time to unpack before so when you settling down talks started. I get it, in her mind, moving out equals ready for wife and kids. Truthfully though, I don't think I'm ready for marriage. I'm single, so I don't want to suggest that I have a line of women I'm turning down. Again, I'm no Casanova, but I wouldn't say I have any issues being seen as attractive by women. I'm still the same man described in my previous submission, just now in my own place and 5 figures in savings instead of 6. I'm not against marriage at all, but I do feel like I've reached a level of clarity or stability within myself that makes it the right move just yet. I guess doesn't make it the right move just yet. So I wanted to ask you, man, and the married men specifically, how did you know you were ready for marriage? What was the moment or the mindset shift that told you, yeah, I'm good to take that step? Did you go into that relationship knowing it would lead to marriage? To the women, could you sense when a man was ready for marriage? There's a lot of negative propaganda surrounding black men, so I'm interested in hearing how women detected the good ones from the rest. I appreciate all the conversation so far. Still listening, still learning. Blessings to the whole team. Gina.
I'm not married, so he asked you. So let's.
Right,
you have to lead.
Honestly, I think sometimes, I'll answer it like this. I think sometimes it's a case of, I'm ready. You know what, I want to get married, all that sort of stuff. But sometimes not. It is sometimes just the next step. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think for me, it was probably a bit of both. Actually, probably more so, I'm ready. But the reason why I'm saying that is because sometimes you will never be ready. Do you know what I'm saying? You will never be like, I'm ready to take on the responsibility of another human being that's roughly my age.
Sorry.
And make sure... What happened?
I want y'all to get into this. Hold up.
Okay.
I'm not going to be talking much today, but when I see some stupidness, I have to...
Oh, gosh.
It's only because I'm not going to be talking much today, isn't it? Hold up.
So somebody did something stupid?
Yeah. It's a regular customer as well.
It's not Tornado.
No.
Big up Tornado.
Yeah.
Okay. Gina, do you want to read that one? It's small on my screen.
All right. Brent will find a choir of a...
Quote.
I was meant to be a quote, yeah?
Yeah.
Because as long as... Okay, so I'm not the stupid one.
No.
Okay, sorry. I'm not saying that you're stupid, but...
He's not, no.
Anyway, Brent will find a quote of a Tory MP saying ban the burqa and portray it as conservatism as a whole, yet his disapproval of David Lammy stops at David Lammy.
Have I ever said I'm a massive fan of Labour? Did I vote Labour in the last election?
I don't think so, you did, Brent.
So, I'm confused here. Does he want me to say I hate Labour? I hate Labour. There you go. You can rest now. If you are trying to paint a picture that the Conservative government isn't historically racist, then my friend, you need to take a look in the mirror. You need to take a look in the mirror. All right, that's it. Go back to business, please.
All right, cool. All I was basically trying to say is I think sometimes you're not necessarily ready, because what does ready look like? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it is the next step, and sometimes like now is as good a time as ever. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need to jump into something, and just and just do what's next, innit? And I don't know if I'm answering the question too well, but I think maybe I'm kind of assuming where you're kind of coming from. If I'm not, please write and correct me. But I feel like, long story short, you don't necessarily need to have certain signs. I think if you feel like that's the next stage of your life, I think do it. You know what I'm saying? And personally, I think the earlier you get married, probably the better. If I'm being honest, if you're of that mindset that you are ready to take on this
Can I ask you why you think that?
I think because sometimes the pros and the benefits of marriage, it's best to have them early, because then all the positive things in your life, the structure, the discipline, the children, the things that you want to come from that time in your life, it just starts earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like, it will just make you a better person. Obviously, if you marry right and you're in a good situation, it'll make you a better person. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and why wait till you're 40 when you could do it when you're 30, for example? Obviously, I don't know the age of the gentleman, but yeah, that's how I kind of see it. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, those things, it's dependent on those things being right, though, innit? Obviously, because if not, then delay it. But if it's all right, then yeah, well, like, what really is there to wait for? Start building on that amazing thing you think is going to be your future. You know what I'm saying? Just start from now. You know what I'm saying? And also, having kids early, I think you have the energy for it when you're younger more than when you're older. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that you get them out of the house quicker and can live the rest of your life, but to some degree you can. You know what I'm saying? And you can still be a youngish parent or and whatnot. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you can go sports day and win the races, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be struggling out there. But obviously you get what I'm trying to say. I'm saying it in jest, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I just feel like if you can do it at a younger age, I think it's better. You know what I'm saying? The structure, the discipline, and all the blessings that come with that union can happen as soon as possible. Why delay it? You know what I'm saying? There's nothing out there that's better than, there really isn't. You know what I'm saying? There really isn't. So yeah, I'm not too sure if I answered the question well enough, but yeah, that's my take. What's the other question you said?
And women, when did they know that he was?
Okay, so the women, could you sense when a man was ready for marriage? What would you say would make you say, you know what, I think this guy is serious about the things he's saying?
Charlie, I'm not married.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, no, I don't mean that. I just mean in terms of, you know, obviously you can tell when a guy is more serious than another guy. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And at this stage in your life, a guy's not just going to be talking about, oh yeah, I just want to, this is going to sound bad. I just want to, I don't know, travel the world, whatever. Like, at this stage, I'm assuming you would expect a man to be like, okay, cool, at this stage, I'm just looking to build on what I have now with somebody. Do you get what I'm saying? As opposed to what he would say when he was 21. Do you get what I'm saying? What are the things that you would kind of make you feel secure that, you know what, this man seems serious?
I think if it's being intentional and speaking about your future together and what that actually looks like, if you get what I mean. I feel like I'm not qualified to talk on this topic, so...
No, of course you are qualified.
I don't really have much to say, but...
You're qualified. I'm not qualified. Because it's... How do I put it? Of course, when you're married, you live together and all that sort of stuff. You've got family, all that sort of stuff. But really, they're still an individual. They're still a human being who's just reached a certain level in life. And you're looking for someone with that same type of mentality, innit? Prior to and after. What's the difference between someone who's married and somebody who's been living together with somebody for 15 years, got 3 kids? You know what I mean? So, you know. Brent, what's your thoughts on this?
Am I ready for marriage?
Like, what would... do you think somebody has to be fully ready for marriage, or do you feel like sometimes you jump in and you become ready in the throes of it? It's part of the journey, as opposed to, you know what, I've seen the light today.
I paused for a while because I think I was just reflecting on a conversation I had with, I think it was Dr. Amani, maybe it was last week.
Pick up Dr. Amani?
Yeah, all the time. And I think it was off the back of a video that she dropped where she had implied that you don't need to be ready for love or ready for a new relationship. Like, you know, when you tell people, let me work on myself first.
Yeah.
And then let me jump in, this and next. So ask the question again about marriage.
Do you think somebody has to be, that something has to have to happen for them to be like, you know what, cool, I'm ready? Or
Yeah.
well, that's what you think?
No. I stopped only because, again, memory came into my head.
Cool.
If they see that particular swab that says it's pregnant, that jilts them.
To be fair, sometimes it is.
Time to take a decision.
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Take a decision?
Yeah.
Take a decision.
To be fair, sometimes you need that, like, you know what I mean, that catalyst that's going to make you just be serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes it wakes certain men out of their slumber.
True indeed.
Knowing that they have a responsibility
100%
to look after two now.
Yep.
And they don't want to be ashamed because their parents didn't raise them to walk around with the family name, shaming the family name. So they get jolted into action. But some of them, they run.
Yeah, but they're not.
That's the decision they take.
Do you know what's so interesting though, yeah? You know, my age group.
Yeah.
There's a few weddings that were like popular, like, and everyone's divorced. It's such, like, literally such a rattler.
What's the biggest one?
You think I'm gonna sit here and I come and start talking names?
Can you talk about it without making it obvious, or no?
No, I'm just not going to.
It was super viral.
There's more than one. I know which one you've got.
So when you say popular, as in they're popular.
Yeah, like they're viral.
Okay, cool.
Like but I found out about one the other day, and I'm just like, no, it's a shame. It is a shame.
Yeah.
But yeah, and even like one of my friends,
don't follow the leader.
He's going through a divorce, and when I spoke to him, like I asked him, and I was like, "What do you think it is?" Because I was like, "You're not the only one, and there's and you and there's a few of you who around the same time." And he was like, "I feel like we all got married too young." That's what he said.
Are you allowed to say how old he was roughly?
Probably 25, 26.
I don't know why, but in my head, I've always thought that was the perfect age.
He was like, I feel like it was too young because the person, and then there's another guy I know as well who got married like 24, 25. And he was just like, 24 him is not 34 him. Like, they're completely different, but him and his ex-wife grew, they didn't grow together. They grew in different directions. And who he is now, she just couldn't accept this new version of him. And so it was never going to work. And he refused to kind of be stuck in a version that no longer served him as a person individually. So yeah.
Everyone's different, man. Everyone is different, I guess.
Obviously, there's the exceptions to the rule. Like, there's people that are married. I'm not saying that obviously everybody, but it's just, I just remember like a period of life where I was going to weddings all the time and loads of people like around me were getting married.
Yeah. It's a shame, man. It's a shame. I see Enoch in Kofi in the chat basically saying, don't get married at 25. Get married from 30 onwards. And I think when I was younger, I used to think, what the hell? Why the hell are you waiting until 30, man? And funny enough, I remember I was chatting to my cousin. He's older than me. And he was basically saying that his dad, so my uncle, basically said to him, yo, don't try and get married at 25. Basically, the same thing that Kofi said. Get married when you're 30. You know what I'm saying?
I hear it though.
And I think when I was hearing this, I was about 21. I was thinking, 30's old, man. What are you talking about? I'm not waiting to 30 so that my kid's going to be this. Life changes. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Like, in my head, I feel like 25 is... If you're with the right person and you guys know, cool, you guys are together, there will obviously be challenges, right? But you guys are definitely not seeing no other option. I think the sooner the better.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody goes into marriage thinking, oh, there's got to be other options. Like, you only go down that road with the intention of it being permanent. Otherwise, why would you do it? Because again, like, the people I'm talking about, you lot didn't have small, quiet weddings either.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
so you definitely went in with the intention of this being the full stop, not ...
Are they hoping it's the full stop or knowing it's the full stop? Because I feel like sometimes there's a bit of a difference. Some people hope. They're like, you know what? There might be a small red flag. In fact, it looks kind of pink. And also, I need to work on myself too, and whatever. There's some concessions along the way. And they're hoping we work things out because we're doing okay right now. But there's some people that say, yeah, I know that we're both imperfect, but I just don't see life being anything. I don't know, just not my life not being with you, basically. There's some people that think that way. And regardless, they believe there's always something, doesn't matter what it is, you can always work through it. There's some people that have that mentality, and I think those are the people that still are there, innit?
Yeah.
Some people don't necessarily see that, especially when they have issues, they run into issues when they're 30. They're like, what the hell? I got the rest of my life. I don't need to deal with this forever. You've only done it for 5 years. Let's just quickly wrap this up. You know what I'm saying? I can still move on. And, you know what I mean? Be happy for the remaining 70 years of my life. You get what I'm saying? So I think some people have different mentalities. Of course, you don't know what you don't know, you know, the obstacles ahead of you and whatnot. But yeah, man. Big up TC. TC said, I won sports day as an older dad. Big up you, man. But yeah, man. All right. Yeah, and Chijoke said the same thing, man. Yeah, man, that's the truth. People didn't want to be old dads during sports day. True indeed, man. You don't really want to, but you know, everyone's circumstance is different, innit? Everyone's circumstance is different. But I do think sometimes there is no sign to know that you're ready. Sometimes you just have to be ready, and the becoming is part of the process. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I hope that answers the question, man. Is somebody coming to the Discord, bro?
Yeah. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning, brother Ed.
Whilst we are waiting,
What's him, yeah?
I was told to give you this.
Oh, nice.
And you need to have read it before you invite her on to talk about the book launch on the 26th of July.
Guys. Oh, from Kelechi.
Yes.
Okay. I'm more enthusiastic now.
Yeah, she said to hand it to you because obviously from spiritual practitioner to spiritual practitioner.
Okay.
She wants you to ask her questions that only you would be able to pluck from the book because of your spiritual awakening.
Okay, I appreciate that. I will definitely
before the
endeavor to do so.
26th of July.
Okay, cool. Her reality, her power, her destiny.
And if you smell
Beautiful.
it, smell it. You should. Does that smell familiar?
Smells very successful. You know what I'm saying? I see
Got those
brilliant
anointing oils in there.
You know what I'm saying? Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, 100%.
All right.
Tthis. Thank you, Kelechi. I appreciate this.
Good morning. Sorry, if a spiritual practitioner tells you that you're going to become a billionaire, should I place any stock in it?
Yes. Yes. 100%.
She said she's read the stars. That's what the stars are saying.
Yeah.
These are the same stars that my God has made.
Yes.
So, what are you saying?
What?
Do you know?
What?
Is any stock in it?
That you're going to be a billionaire.
She said she sees it.
Oh, so do I, though.
Oh. Did you have to read the stars for that?
Do I what?
Did you have to read the stars for that?
No.
You just see that I don't
Jesus
drink.
Christ!
You just see that I don't drink Magnum at in the morning.
Yeah, I'm in the morning. No, but I definitely, there's no way you do the stuff that you do and you pour into people the way that you do for you not to reap. And you do it for nothing in return. There's no way that you're not going to be like on those levels. Like it's impossible. Like if it didn't happen, I'd be looking at God like,
all right.
Like, huh?
Straight.
Like, make it make sense,
Make
please.
it make sense.
Because there's people out here who are not deserving, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You deserve it, 100%.
Thanks, babes. Thanks. Good morning, Ed.
Just don't forget me. Something small for the boys. just a small one.
They still doing that at the airport?
Of course they are. It's not just at the airport, it's everywhere.
Everywhere, of course. Good morning, brother Ed.
Yo, can you hear me, yeah?
Yeah, man. Assalamu alaikum, man.
Yeah, bless me. Walaikum salam, man. This is good. So just my view on what my man was saying in terms of the I'm ready, perfect time sort of thing. Chijoke sort of brought up in the chat where it was like about his intent. So just like, which is a positive, definitely like it's a positive to go with intent to these things. But I do think he needs to get out of the mindset of there's a set moment, there's a set instant, like there's that eureka moment that happens. Like those are just, I think it's just literally a culmination of feelings, isn't it? Like it was just, and when it happened, you just You just know it's not. There's no specific moment. It's not going to be like the movies where you were just looking at her across the room and then suddenly it's like, I knew I was going to marry that babe. Like, no, you didn't. That's not how it works. You know what I mean? But same with kids. There's no like you can tell yourself, oh yeah, I've got to have a certain amount of money or I've got to be this place, that place in my life to have kids. But again, I don't think there's no, like you're literally never ready. I've met people who've had kids at 21. I've met kids who've had kids at 16. I've met people who've had kids at 45. Like there's no, set no set age, no set timing. Like some people, will thrive in those environments. Some people won't. But I think the number one thing he needs to understand, and I think a lot of people don't understand, is the amount of work that goes in. Like I think a lot of people just think, oh, like I get married and all my problems are fixed, or I have a kid and all my problems are fixed. It's like, no, if anything, those things will heighten those issues that you ain't fit. You know what I mean? Like those things, those problems you do have, that those things, because the level of responsibility has gone up. Like so, if you're going into this, a mess in some aspects of your life, that's gonna get heightened. You know what I mean? And also, I think what Gina was saying about people growing apart. I was saying in the chat that people gotta understand that you gotta grow together as well. Like it's so easy to grow apart because everyone again just thinks like, oh, like, I'm married, so everything's just meant to be like X, Y, Z. Like it's like nah, this ain't gonna feel like how it felt yesterday. This ain't gonna feel like how it felt 10 years ago. Like you gotta keep working at that, and you're gonna keep changing as people from now till till death do you part. You know what I'm saying? I think that's something that a lot of people don't think about too tough. Like they, for some reason, you think that you're gonna be the way you were when you met that girl is the way you're gonna be when you're old and grey. Like things are gonna change. You gotta be able to understand that. Yeah, like you gotta move as a team, move as a partnership, navigate these ups and downs, and how you're gonna change and whatnot together, and know that that's gonna be coming. Like in terms of your marriage, in terms of kids, all that. That's the thing that I think my man needs to focus on the most.
Mm-hmm. So would you
well,
say
Right, go on. So.
Would you say then it's just best to get it's best to get your non-negotiables sorted, and then just kind of just have it in your mind the mindset that some of these other things just might change with time, innit?
Exactly. Yeah. Definitely that's the best way, I think. Yeah, fair enough. You gotta have some non-negotiables, of course. Yeah. But but definitely know that the bulk of things. What's the phrase? Man makes plans, God laughs, and all that. That's the reality of the world. So don't be trying to think. Don't trying to think that everything today is how it's gonna be further down the road. So definitely have certain things set for sure. But just don't be trying to micromanage everything. Because change a lot.
Appreciate that, Ed. Thank you for your insights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bless, man.
Hopefully that what we said was helpful to our good brother who wrote in, man. But yes,
amen.
Brent, let's move on to the headlines, please. All right, people. Trigger warning on this one, man. A grandma is facing. Oh my, what's happening now? Maybe it's the Magnum, Gina. A grandma is fighting to clear her name after being sacked, where she has worked for 13 years over a misplaced bracelet. Janet Olufunke Damiro, 71 years old, has been accused of stealing a bracelet she claims that she found on a shift at the London School of Economics. Now, over 70 of her colleagues have written to the university to defend her character after Janet said it was an innocent case of forgetfulness. The cleaner, who came to the UK from Nigeria in 1971, told Metro that she forgot about the gold bracelet after she put it in her purse to keep it safe during her shift. University management then asked her about the lost item 3 days later, and she immediately handed it back out of her purse. Despite profusely apologizing, she was suspended and then sacked for gross misconduct at the end of April. Janet told Metro, "I can't sleep. I've never had a bad record or been to HR before in my life. This is the first time in my life I have had a problem like this since I came to this country. It is really bugging me." She has been left without a job, without income, and without justice, and is worried about paying rent and making ends meet. Janet's union, the United Voices of the World, the UVW union, has been fighting Janet's case at disciplinary hearings and has appealed the decision, man. Guys, let's pray for our grandma, please. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, this was an honest mistake. Next headline, and according to local media and his patriotic front party, Lungu collapsed while exercising at home in Lusaka and was pronounced dead at the main Soko Military Hospital. So this is about the former president of Zambia, President Edgar Lungu. The government has confirmed the news and declared a period of national mourning. Lungu served as Zambia's 6th president from 2015 to 2021, a period marked by major infrastructure projects, but also rising debt and economic challenges. He lost re-election to Hakainde Hichilema in 2021 and had kept a relatively low profile until recently when he re-entered political life as an opposition figure. Tributes are pouring in across Zambia and the wider African continent. President Hichilema described Lungu's death as a tragic loss for the nation. Funeral arrangements are yet to be announced. And our last headline, the African Union has expressed its concern over US President Donald Trump's new travel ban, saying it could impact Washington's diplomatic relations with the continent. Of the 12 countries, we spoke about this yesterday in People's Journal, of the 12 countries affected by his executive order issued on Wednesday night, 7 of these 12 countries, right, are in Africa, with a further 3 African nations facing travel restrictions. African nations impacted by the full ban are Chad, Congo, Brazzaville, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Libya, Somalia, and Sudan. Burundi, Sierra Leone, and Togo also face restrictions. The continental body called on Washington to engage in constructive dialogue with the countries concerned. Trump claims the ban is needed to protect the United States against foreign terrorists and other security threats. Other countries facing the ban include Iran, Myanmar, Haiti, Yemen, and Afghanistan. And in Kabul, some say that they are disappointed. Travel agents, however, say it will have little real impact as Afghans have struggled to get to US, get US visas since the Taliban took over anyway. The ban takes effect 1 minute past midnight on Monday, the 9th of June, a caution that may avoid the chaos that unfolded at airports nationwide when a similar measure took effect with virtually no notice back in 2017. And that's it for the headlines. Time to pay them bills. Brent, let's get into the reaction, please. All right, people. There were some games, man. There were some games yesterday. Brent, you see any of the games?
Question.
Talk to us.
Gina, you might know this. Why were there so many people with cowboy hats in Central yesterday?
Beyonce concert.
I saw so many different people.
Yeah.
Like old people.
Because her album is the Texas, it's the country album.
Okay.
So that's why.
I think I even saw some Colombians and Mexicans and stuff.
It's Beyonce, isn't it? You know Beyonce brings everybody together.
But 60, 70-year-olds.
It's Beyonce.
It's so weird.
You know it's Beyonce.
And hella different accents and whatnot.
It's her concert.
And then some men were scantily dressed with just a cowboy hat on.
Yeah. Beyonce.
That's so different, man. That is so different. That's a cult.
Influence. Yeah, it's crazy.
Influencing her. I don't know.
She has a big, massive level of influence. 100%.
They would probably kill for her. Some of them.
She's like the original influencer. Like that has like, because I guess when you the goal like with influencing, you want a community, right? Like everyone has their community of people that like ride for them. Beyonce has her beehives. Look at that show that we spoke about. I forgot what it was called. I feel like we discussed it. It was like a series.
Do
you remember?
Yes.
And it was based off of, and the girl killed her sister's boy. Do you remember? And it was based off of, it was meant to basically represent Beyonce's beehives. And it had Chloe Bailey in it, right?
You guys broke it down on the show. I can't remember what it's called.
I forgot what it's called. Yeah, that was the.
So how can we radicalize the TDA community to be like these people? Like, how do we get them to do things for us?
They just have to fall in love with you.
Serious?
Yeah, I feel like.
How do we do that then?
I don't know. I think just the reason why I find Beyonce's one interesting is because if I look at like maybe influencers, right? Like and look at it from that perspective, when you're really authentic, people gravitate towards you because they see themselves in you.
As in Beyonce?
Beyonce's not authentic. I don't think.
Oh, you don't understand that part?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think she's an artist who's put her personal stuff out there, or like, I don't see myself in Beyonce.
Yeah.
From a child till now, like,
Yeah.
I don't think that's not the route she's gone down.
Yeah.
So it's very insane. But then again, have you like ever looked back and watched like the old Michael Jackson concerts and seen people fainting and like,
Goodness.
it's mad. It's actually, obviously, I don't think anyone outside of her right now has that level of Michael Jackson influence. I've not seen anybody like, you see Michael Jackson, like watching his old school concerts and seeing people like faint. Sometimes I watch them, I'm like, aha.
So I want to ask some questions. I apologize, Tornado. Please forgive me.
Would you call him Tornado?
Yeah. That's
Not
a
me,
stripper name.
somebody.
Banter.
The psyche, and maybe Dr. Mani could basically speak to this. I saw so many different people, so many different flavors and whatnot. But in my head, like, there is something that's in all of their brains, right? That when engaged, they can do something wild for that person, right? Now, I don't know if the same can be said of me and Jesus Christ. I don't know if it's the same part of the brain. I have got no clue. Do you think it is, Emmanuel?
Do I think what, sorry?
Do you think it is? Because they dressed up, all of them, and they had different hats and stuff, right?
I think so. Because the theme of the concert is the
So
country album.
if you
innit?
went, would you dress up?
No, but I'm also not. You see, with me, number one, I'm not a fan of anybody like that. Like, generally speaking, I don't possess that in me. It's not part of my character. There's nobody that I would care for unless it was like, I don't know, because now I'm thinking about it actually. If like maybe like TLC or someone did like a concert, I might go a bit old school, but not because that's the theme, but it's just, let me get in my nostalgic bag. But not because they said, do you know what I mean? It's giving, I'm going to give a reference and you're not going to have a clue what I'm talking about, but any people who know about Mean Girls, it's like, Regina George wore army pants and flip-flops, so I wore army pants and flip-flops. Like, it's giving, do you know what I mean?
Would you wear an eye patch though for left eye?
No, that's taking it too far. That's what I'm saying. The only time I'd ever do that if it's a fancy dress and I decided to go as left eye, but not to like pay homage on a normal, on a double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon. No.
Man, do you see those people as weird at all?
I wouldn't say them as weird.
Do you just see them as attending a function, just like you would go to R&B and slow jams, and it's a themed night?
Yeah, I think so. But also, to add on to that, Brent, is it any different to people who go to football matches
and wear the
wear
t-shirts
the
and
whole thing and have somebody else's name on the back? Do you get what I'm saying?
So do you see that as the same? You're asking the question, but I want... Remember, I'm the one who's curious as to the psyche.
Yeah.
And if you use that example as a parallel, are they parallel? Because in saying that, I do believe that some people would kill over football, right?
Oh, yeah,
Remember I told
that's
you,
true.
our mutual friend?
Yeah, football is one of those. Do you know what's really interesting? I messaged my friend yesterday. I messaged my friend yesterday and I was like, because he's a person who, like, we're close, but he doesn't, I never see him down or upset, like, ever in life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, it was so random, no hello, hi, nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like, random question, but does life ever get you down besides football? And I had to make that reference because when it comes to football, yeah.
Interesting.
I feel the wrath of when Manchester United is not, do you know what I mean? I know. So, yeah, I think football fans are similar, to be honest.
All right. Because some of them were just wearing like jockey shorts and belts with a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
It's giving like YMCA that, isn't it? Like back in the days, YMCA. Yeah. And I think it's the perfect month for it. Do you think she planned it as well? To come during Pride Month? Because that would, her audience would feel...
her audience.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, yeah. But she has a big LGBTQ
there you go.
Audience anyway.
It's a perfect time to do the show. I think it's part of all the marketing, man. Have people coming out, be happy, celebrate, and you know what I mean? Like, make the movement come together. And I think that's one of the things I was going to mention, Brent. I think it might be that part of the brain that you're talking about, where something connects with you in such a deep way, and other people too, that it makes you focus on that individual, but also so happy to be part of a community with other people. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the football, the church, the concerts, do you get what I'm saying? Like, you're happy to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Well.
And also, just to add as well, I think a group of people that have maybe the same following or even bigger might be Wu-Tang, you know?
Again, I had no idea.
Yeah.
As in they would dress up in jockey shorts and belts?
No, they'll do, more, civilized swing, innit? But I mean, like, just like...
But again,
you can't be seeing that in Pride Month, bro.
Huh? You say you
I'm
never...
slipping, man.
What did you say?
Don't worry. He said, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No, but Ben, I said on purpose. Do you know why? Because when I say civilized, I mean in alignment with 5% ideology. What civilized means to be 5%. Someone with knowledge of self. You know what I'm saying? And that is fully in line with the Wu-Tang, innit? Like, all of the brothers there were 5%ers. Some have obviously moved into Islam and whatnot, but they're staunch 5%. You know what I'm saying? So civilized means something to 5% as a nation. You know what I mean? But but yeah. You know, the other day they brought out like a are they Jordans? The Jordan 1s, a Wu-Tang thingy.
What is it?
Gone.
Really?
Immediate. As soon as it dropped, it was gone.
Again, remember, like I said, I didn't know anything of much. I didn't know much about Wu-Tang until I watched the series, and I was like, "Yo, this is wow." Yeah,
no, Wu-Tang is serious.
I had no idea, but again, I guess it wasn't my time, innit? So
Wu-Tang, because bare the people they have tattoos. They have what's that guy? You know, the white guy. You guys will know him. I just don't know his name. He's a comedian. He's an actor. He was in Higher Learning.
The killer?
The racist, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know his name, I know he's...
If I'm not mistaken, he's a big Wu-Tang fan.
Oh, is it?
His firstborn, his son is named Raekwon.
Is his wife black?
I think so.
Oh.
I think so. You know what I'm saying? That shows you how deep Wu-Tang is. People feel Wu-Tang on a different level, man. They feel Wu-Tang on a different level.
I had no idea.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Is it Rappaport? Is that his name?
I don't remember.
Okay. Somebody in chat would know.
Yeah, I think he's the ginger haired guy, right?
That's the guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's quite annoying.
Like, Kofi, you are so stupid.
What did he say?
He said, I'm sure Justine will find her favourite Echo tracksuit if there was Lord of the Mics. You know what? So, do you know why you are amazing? Let me tell you why you are so amazing, yeah? The other day, I was thinking about something from back in the day, yeah? And it was a jersey that came out, and it used to be in, I think, JD Sports or one of those stores, yeah? And like, me and a bunch of girls, yeah, it was like our uniform. It was red and white. And the brand, I couldn't remember the name of the brand. And now you said Echo, it was Echo. But it was like an Echo jersey and it was white and red. And now I'm going to go online and see if I can find it.
Echo was big, you know.
Yeah.
It was Echo and Academics, isn't it?
And Averix.
And oh yeah,
Come on.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So I've just been corrected, Emmanuel. You don't have a month and a bit. You have just a bit. It's
What?
June the 26th that her book launch is.
Ooh,
and
okay.
you need to get busy with that.
I do indeed.
Beforehand. Thank you very much, Temi.
Thank you.
Cool. She did tell me to ask you. Oh, it's so...
Ask me or ask
annoying.
Gina?
No, you. It was a question for you.
Okay.
But I'll ask you afterwards. It's not really important. It's about your religious beliefs. I'll ask you afterwards.
Okay, cool. What I wanted to say, big up Mel in the chat. Big up Mel every goddamn time. She mentioned her and her husband going to a Pink concert wearing pink. You know what I'm saying? Big up that. But the main thing I was bigging her up for is because she mentioned something in reference to the last headline about Zambia. None of the former presidents are alive. Every former president of Zambia is now dead. which seems a bit crazy. But yeah, just wanted to mention that. Thank you, Mel, for giving us the facts on that. And guys, if you know what's good for you, if you want a cake or any sort of sweet, beautiful cupcakes, any of them things there, go to mybaker.co. You know what I'm saying? Just say TDA sent you there and you'll be looked after. All right, people. Are we ready? Yeah, we're ready in the reaction, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Brent, did you watch the game?
5-4.
5-4. Spain beat France 5-4. I believe you was listening to the highlights, right? Before?
Yes.
Do you see the goals?
Yes.
Serious?
Some of them, yes.
Okay. Today, there are some games as well. For the FIFA World Cup European qualifying situation. Estonia is taking on Israel. Come in Estonia, do it for the world. Norway is going to be taking on Italy. Wales versus Liechtenstein. North Macedonia versus Belgium. Czech Republic versus Montenegro. And Gibraltar versus Croatia. There's some other international games as well. And these are like super internationals, like literally all over the world, innit? You've got Bulgaria taking on Cyprus. You've got Russia taking on Nigeria. You've got Luxembourg taking on Slovenia. Kosovo playing Armenia. Hungary, Sweden. South Africa and Tanzania. Poland, Moldova. Republic of Ireland versus Senegal. Cameroon versus Uganda. Scotland versus Iceland. Morocco versus Tunisia. There's a lot of games, people. I believe even the women were playing as well. I believe Jamaica took on Brazil, women's football. 2 days ago. Yesterday or 2 days ago. As well, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, let me try and find it so I can tell you guys the scores. 2 days ago, USA beat Jamaican women, man, 4-0. Sorry, guys. Canada beat Haiti women 3-1. But I'm pretty sure Jamaica played Brazil. Maybe this week. I'm not too sure. Well, I can't remember. Next thing I wanted to mention is Jaime Munguia. He's released a second statement. He did this a couple of days ago, actually. And this is obviously about the positive drug test that we spoke about the other day. He tested positive for exogenous testosterone after his May 3rd victory over Bruno Soares. I believe it's going to be ruled a no contest. It's pretty much obvious that that's going to happen. But Munguia and his team released a statement claiming that he has never before failed a drug test in his career, and they're investigating how the banned substance entered into his system. People are basically saying this has to be intentional. Because how do you get extra testosterone, like exogenous testosterone? This is basically testosterone that your body doesn't make. How did that come into the system? You know what I'm saying? It seems a bit more intentional than the other things that, typically come into other athletes' systems and things of that nature. And what's crazy about this is a lot of people are thinking, what's going on with that camp? So for those who don't know, Munguia's moved over to Eddie Reynoso's camp, which is Canelo's coach. Obviously, Canelo had that situation where he was banned, I believe it was for 6 months, years ago, before the second Triple G fight. And obviously he said it was because of the meat, the Mexican meat, which has been a reason that a lot of Mexicans have used over the past, which is, I guess there's some authenticity to that because it's a known thing that a lot of the meat in Mexico is pumped with some of these chemicals in it to kind of keep the meat strong, firm, big, whatever word you want to use in it. And obviously that can come to your system. But for Munguia to not have tested positive his entire career, come over to Eddie Reynoso and Canelo's camp. In fact, I shouldn't even say Canelo's camp because Canelo's just a boxer, he's not a coach. But come over to that camp and now, first fight, after losing it's not his first fight, but after losing to Bruno Soares, coming back, avenging that, and testing positive, it just doesn't look good for that entire camp, man. People are really going to be looking at that, man. Next thing I wanted to mention is my brother is fighting on the weekend. Big up Keyshawn Davis. This guy is going to be a future legend. He's killing it in the lightweight division. I'm trying to remember who he's fighting now. But yeah, he's going to be fighting on the weekend if I'm not mistaken. Also, what's his name? Fabio Wardley's going to be fighting on the weekend. So that's something that definitely people will be looking forward to. He's going to be taking on, is it Hooney? I believe he's an Australian fighter. That's going to be in Ipswich. Justice Hooney, 12 rounds for the vacant WBA interim heavyweight title. Dillian White was meant to be fighting, but apparently a couple of days ago, he's basically pulled out or whatever. So that's not happening. Also, Adam Azim is going to be fighting, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to be fighting on the Callum, on the Simpson card. That was just a late notice thing, but he's going to be fighting. Like I said, Keyshawn Davis is going to be fighting. He's going to be fighting Edwin De Los Santos. Now, this is it's an interesting fight. De Los Santos is one of those fighters who doesn't really, I don't say he doesn't engage, but he's one of those elusive sort of fighters. And when you're up against somebody who's a counterpuncher, like Shakur Stevenson, it makes for a boring fight. Why do I say that? Because they fought, and it was diabolical. The numbers were horrible in terms of the amount of punches thrown and landed. But now De Los Santos is going to be up against Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis is one of them fighters who don't like to stay in the ring for longer than he needs to. So I believe he's going to turn up. He already knows there's a lot of comparisons between him and his boy Stevenson. So I think he's going to do something good, man. But again, Edwin De Los Santos is a good boxer. He's elusive. He's got a style that might be a bit tricky and whatnot, but he's a good boxer. So this would be interesting to see. Abdullah Mason, who's a prospect, is going to be on that card. He's going to be fighting Jeremiah Nakathila in the lightweight division also. Yeah, my man's on Abdullah Mason, man. He's an up-and-coming man. He's an exciting boxer, and yeah, he's got a brilliant future ahead of him. But yeah, that's pretty much some of the most important boxing that's going to be on the weekend. I think that is pretty much it, man. So, Brent, we can wrap it up there and go into our wrap-up.
Good morning, Chijoke.
Yeah, hello.
Good morning. You have to unmute yourself. All right, we'll give you a while to fix that. Go on, man.
All right, so people, thank you for tuning in this week. And today, of course, we spoke about Zia Youssef, who's resigned as Reform UK's chairman. We also spoke about Trump saying that he's very disappointed, man, by his former friend, Elon Musk. Why? Because there's a public row between the two of them. He don't like some of the policies or this particular policy that Trump wants to roll out. We also spoke about the private school pupil numbers dropping by 11,000. Labour Party obviously doesn't give a damn about that. They want to make it harder for people to progress in life, but not use that extra funds for your betterment. This is what they do. We also spoke about Islamophobia, man, and misunderstanding Khabib Nurmagomedov, and also the banning of the burqa, which the Reform Party, for some reason, wants to roll out. Very divisive people. Very divisive people. We also spoke about the weight loss jab, warning from the health watchdog, basically saying, guys, if you want to use the weight loss jab, it's up to you, but please be mindful. If you want to have kids and stuff, make sure you're off of it for at least 2 months before you're trying to have kids. If you're pregnant already, do not use it. So yeah, do your due diligence, people. Also, sadly, we spoke about Keisha from Sugar Babes. Yeah, man, she's in court, man. Well, her ex is in court. Taiwo Atieno, former footballer. He's been charged with assaulting her and just controlling her life, man. Like coercive behavior, controlling behavior. Sad news. We also spoke about Iman Khalif. She's back again in the news. And the Algerian boxing boxers are basically furious, man. They're furious with the leaked results that was taken, I believe, a couple of years ago, which basically showed that she is biologically male. And they're basically saying this is causing like a lot of psychological damage on her. And fair enough, man, that's true. It's sad how they've handled this. And we also spoke about the grandmother who has been sacked from her cleaner job at LSC, man. Basically, for those who don't know, she found a bracelet. She kept it in her purse. She obviously didn't try to steal it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be there for 3 days. You know what I'm saying? She gave it back when asked about it. She's like, oh, yes, of course. Here you are. And they said, okay, you know what? Thank you for giving this to me. Hold on right there. And they told her to go home. And they just sacked her. You know what I'm saying? So let's pray for her. And also, we spoke about Zambia mourning the death of their former president, Edgar Lungu. And big up Mel again for highlighting that there's no former president from Zambia who's alive. They all passed away from different reasons. Some stroke, heart attack, some cancer, and all that sort of stuff. But it's strange that this is just happened in Zambia, innit? You know what I'm saying? And obviously we spoke about the African Union expressing their concern over Donald Trump's new travel ban. 12 countries have been affected by his executive order, and 7 of them are in Africa, and a further 3 have travel restrictions. And yeah, man, there's a lot of boxing on the weekend. Adam Azim, again, he's been added to the Barnsley Boxing Show, late notice. He's obviously going to win, otherwise they won't put him in there. Mungia responded to his positive drug tests. My boy Keyshawn Davis is going to be fighting. My boy Abdullah Mason's going to be fighting. Worley's going to be fighting. I really wish he was fighting Miller. But obviously, as you guys know, that got cancelled and he's now fighting Hooney. And that'll be a good fight, man. I believe this is his first fight in his hometown of Ipswich. He's an avid Ipswich supporter. So yeah, wishing him all the best, man. Hopefully he does well. He's half Nigerian, by the way, as well. I believe he's half Nigerian, half American. So big up Fabio Wardley. Wishing you the best. And hopefully, be good. Yeah, man. Hopefully he comes away with the victory. Really want to see him do well, man. Our good brother Chizuke, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, Ed told me to come to the stage to talk about these NBA games. So
oh yes, please, please do.
Yeah. So yesterday evening for the UK people, it was the first game of the NBA Finals. Oklahoma City versus Indiana Pacers. And the Pacers won literally at the buzzer with one player that is being voted by his peers as one of the most overrated players. So the agendas are out there for that guy, unfortunately. But he's showing that he's not a mug.
Okay. Sorry, I thought there was a bit more. No, but I appreciate that, Chizuke, man.
No, it's fine.
Oh, what was I going to say? You just jogged my memory about my good brother Kyrie Irving, man. He won an award, I believe, last month for Black Excellence. How's he doing, man? What's his team saying?
So he was at the team that Luka got traded from, so that's where he's at the moment. They're I don't know what's going to happen with them. I mean, they've got the number 1 pick, so potentially there could be more expectations on them doing better because Cooper Flag, who's expected to basically become that number 1 pick, is supposed to be looked at as the next big thing. So I'm not sure what his plans will be in the future. He's getting older. His team's a bit older as well. So I don't know if he's necessarily going to be looked at as that piece to be winning the championship next year. But we'll see what Dallas do with them.
Okay. All right, man. Appreciate that, man. I just got a message from Godders, big up Godders. He basically asked a question which I believe a lot of us may be wanting to know, and this is about Discord. Where can you react in real time to the shows? I believe, so the reason why I mention it now is because obviously everyone else can benefit from the answer as well. There's an instant reaction tab in it, Brent, on the left.
Yeah, there's an instant reaction thread.
Yeah, there's an instant reaction thread. I believe it's got a couple fire emojis next to it, I think. You can basically react there in real time. But of course, we'll prefer to hear from you live on the show. And also, he did mention something. I hope I'm not, doing something that I shouldn't be doing. But I believe he would mention this on live on the show as well. So I'll read it out as well. And this is basically in response to the whole Beyonce fans and fanatics and stuff in it. And he says, there's a saying that goes like this. 85% of people on earth are followers, 10% are leaders or creators or manipulators, and 5% are observers. The followers need something to follow or believe, so the creators capitalize on that and take advantage of their desire to be led. The observers see everything that's going on, can ruin everything for the 10%, but the 85% label the 5% crazy or plan to get rid of them because the 10% have control. So there you go, man. That's his assessment of that. But also, why that stood out to me is because that feeds right into 5% ideology, man. You know what I'm saying? With the 85% are basically those who, who don't know any better, man. You got 10% who obviously know who the true and living God is, but act like they don't know, and they manipulate the 85%. And then you get those of us who are 5%ers who basically know who the true and living God is, have knowledge of self, and basically try to enlighten the people, man. You know what I'm saying? The poor righteous teachers. So yeah, just wanted to add that to that. But that's pretty much it, man. What were you gonna say?
I wasn't gonna say anything. No, I was just
All right, cool. What are you? Are you 85er or 10 or 5%, Chijuke?
I am a believer of the one true God, and that's what I'll stick to.
Okay. The true and living God. All right, cool. The black man. All right. Ben, I think we can wrap it up there, man. In fact, we have wrapped it up, innit? Guys, thank you for tuning in once again. Hope you have a blessed weekend. And we'll be back here next week, man. 8 a.m. And yeah, man. Peace.
Bye.
Later.